Kento Momota is out of the Olympic tournament. A huge shock, a sensation after he was defeated by Heo Kwang-hee from Korea in the last match of the group stage. There's no seats left in the first quarter in men's singles as more surprises were sprung during the last day of group play. Here is a man, he's happy. He's just turned back the clock 10 years, back to when he defeated Chen Long in the World Championship back in London. Today he did it again, sprung a big surprise and secured himself a berth for the knockout stage in the Olympic tournament by defeating Ung Kalong from Hong Kong. Now this man here, he's also happy because he's also secured himself a place in the knockout draw. Toby Penty also sprung a big surprise in the group stage by defeating Kantafon Wangcharoen in straight games and thus qualifying for the knockout stage as he also defeated Kai Schaefer in the group. Now there's a man here, the third man, and he's actually about to be happy. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to be a very, very happy man because he's about to knock out the top seed of the tournament, Kento Momota, and one of the ways that he did it was to attack relentlessly. He controlled the net. He used the same formula as Lee Si-ja from Malaysia did at the All England back in March, controlling the net against Momota and then firing variation in the firing attack with lots of variation against his opponent. The situation got to Momota. It's not easy to be on home soil and be the overwhelming favorite. Tournament has now been knocked completely open, and it's going to be really interesting to follow the men's single. So who is this man, Heo Kwang-hee? Well, I can tell you that he's 25 years of age, and he's actually the 2013 World Junior Champion. He won that tournament back in Thailand. Since then, he's been a little bit of a sleeper. He hasn't really had his big breakthrough in senior badminton. He's made some promises, created some good results, defeated Jonathan Christie in the 2018 Thomas Cup edition and has played good matches, but he hasn't really gotten it together for a full tournament. His best result as a senior is, as you can see, the 2019 Chinese Taipei Open, where he finished runner-up to Chou Tian-tian. He's part of the class of 2013, and that's a really, really strong class of players, as you can see here. Just to mention a few: Kevin Sukamuljo, Li Junhui, Chen Qingqian, Chen Yufei, Jia Yifan, Akane Yamaguchi, all players that are amongst the favorites to medal at these Olympics here. Anyway, it was he who came out with the gold medal. Korea also won gold in the team and defeated Indonesia, who on their terms had defeated China in the semifinals. So very, very strong class of 2013 that are now making its impact on the tournaments on the world circuit. So let's take a look at how the knockout draw looks in men's singles. And here you can see that Heo Kwang-hee, he earned himself a bye in the Group A, as well as Chou Tian-tian in the bottom half of the draw. Chou had to work really hard as well against another youngster, Brian Yang from Canada, but Chou won the first game in that match, and after that it was clear that he was going to win the group. Now you can see that Kevin Corden is in Group C, and he will face another unseeded player, Mark Kaldjau, who eventually came out of the group where Misha Silverman on the first day of competition sprung a surprise and defeated Sai Praneeth. Mark Kallio followed suit and defeated Cypronid as well in the last group stage match, and as he had beaten Silverman, he's now in the last 16. So no seeded player left in the first quarter here, and I guess that the other players in contention for medals, they had a sudden increase in heart rate as it was clear that Kento Momota was knocked out. I guess it must have increased about 5-10 beats per minute, because the chances of getting that Olympic medal just got considerably bigger. Now Victor Axelsen, the fourth seed, he cruised through his group and is now up against Wang Tzu-wei, who had to go the full distance against the young Irishman Nat Nguyen. If we take a look at the head-to-heads, we can see that Axelsen is 2-0 up against Wang Tzu-wei, but the Olympics is different. It's a different kind of tournament. The mental part is so important. So unless there's some really significant head-to-head scores that suggest that there's a problem in the matchup, that you are just a bad fit for a certain opponent, then I think pretty much anything can happen in this tournament. Jonathan Christie, who's also a class of 2013, as well as Shiyu Chi, and those two players will face off in the last 16. As you can see, Christie slightly ahead in the head-to-heads, but Christie had a considerably tougher match against Lo Kin Yu from Singapore, won in 3 games, whereas Shiyu Chi has only played one very easy match in this tournament here. So how is that going to affect him, that he's perhaps not that used to the playing conditions in the Musashino Forest Sports Plaza? Now Kanta Tsuneyama, he's now the lone Japanese survivor in the tournament, and that's going to be an interesting match as well against Anthony Ginting. There's a lot of Indonesian hopes on especially Ginting, after he's proven that that he was capable of beating Momota when that was needed. It's not needed anymore because he's no longer in the draw, so I guess this has increased the chances for a number of other players as well. In Group K, the left-hander Toby Penty from Great Britain, he defeated Kantafon Wangcharoen in straight games, and is now facing Anders Antonsen, who also more or less cruised through his group. Li Xijia, he saw off Brice Levades. The Frenchman started out well, but soon it was clear that Li Xijia was taking control over that match, and he set himself up against the reigning Olympic champion Chen Long. That's going to be one of the matches to watch, as we are really in the dark as to where Chen Long is standing. That could be so interesting, that match. They're playing for the right to play Zhou Qianqian in the quarterfinals of the men's single. So as the last thing in this short update, we're going to take a look at the semifinals in mixed doubles. We saw the quarterfinals, 3 rather convincing wins, and a tough match between Watanabe Higashino, that defeated Purvara Nukro and Tera Chanachai in their quarterfinal that went the full distance. The other quarterfinals finished in straight games, and all matches went to the pair who had the head-to-head lead. So anyway, Watanabe, I think, played really well there to play the net and play the front court, even from position below the tape on his side of the court. Eventually, Arisa Higashino stepped up again, like we've seen it in a lot of the other matches. Actually took up the battle at the net and won the initiative for the Japanese pair. Here there is a significant head-to-head difference. Tang Chunman and Tseung Set 1-7 down against Jiang Siwei and Huang Yachong, and Watanabe Higashino 1-9 down against Wang Yilu and Huang Dongping. So on paper it looks like an all Chinese affair in the mixed doubles, and the matches I've seen, it also suggests that they are the two best playing pairs at the moment. The big unknown is how will the situation, how will it affect them? Will they be able to perhaps not control the nerves, but accept that they're going to be nervous in these matches and still have a high enough level to prevail and perhaps win their semifinals over Tang and Se, respectively Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino. One of the challenges for Yuta Watanabe is that he's playing the first match of the day in the semifinal of this mixed double here, and later on, I think it's only just about 3 hours later, he has to play the quarterfinal in men's doubles together with Hiroyuki Endo against Wang Qilin and Li Yang. So lots of surprises on the last day of group stage play in men's singles. Of course, the biggest one, not a surprise, but a sensation, I would say, was Kento Momota's defeat. It's definitely going to be debated whether that was a bigger shock than Lin Dan crashing out in 2004 to Ronald Susilo. I would personally think that this is a bigger sensation since Momota is established, won the World Championships twice. That was not the case for Lin Dan back then in 2004, even though he was the favorite. The women's single group stage play was concluded in a much more quiet fashion. Ratchanok Intanon was pushed to 3 games by Sonia Chair, but that was pretty much the only surprise in the women's singles draw. So I'm not going to go deeper into that. I reviewed that in an earlier video that you can find in the links to this video. Now, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That would help us a lot, and let's enjoy the matches that are about to start in about an hour's time. Bye for now.